So, Miles Marshall Lewis,
Yes, sir.
here we have you.
All right. Thank you. Like I used to say back in the day, this is a work in progress. I am nobody's messiah, believe you me. If my life's work has any single solitary theme, it's that we've all got tiny slivers of the divine at our center. Ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, and all that. There's no Neo in this matrix. We're all Neo. I'd be the last one to want anybody confusing my pointing finger for the sun. So I'm not sure I would have told anyone about what happened that night if, I may as well say it, if someone on my vibration hadn't seen it for themselves. I had barely known Sun for one full weekend. We were both alone, on an island, on vacation. She'd read stuff of mine. Her songs soundtracked my entire late 20s. And so we had plenty to talk about between our own private rest and relaxation. The beauty of an orange supermoon drew us out to laze near her villa's pool that night. If the 80s mix on her tablet didn't start playing the Cars right then, but then I don't believe in coincidences, those mystical, magical, coinciding incidents. So I was meant to make her laugh at my little meta gag of the guru walking on water from that old music video of theirs. What ended up happening wasn't funny at all. What happened was, I walked on water. The wetness felt a little unsure beneath my feet, like the drenched surface of an inflatable bouncy house. The sun calmly put down her joint, walked over to the pool, and stepped into the shallow side with a slight plunge. Looking up at me, the supermoon at my back, she raised her hands to her mouth real slow and thought she might lose it. I stepped backwards, back to the ledge of the deep end. Had we not been alone, someone would have filmed it on their phone. It would have been all over the web with 1 billion views. But it was just me, the sun, and the moon.
Drink this, she said, from her chic shanty, handing me a water from the fridge. It was the first thing either of us said after witnessing, well, walking on water, needless to say, had already been called a miracle for over 2,000 years. For sure, I felt lightheaded and figured hydration was a good idea, so I took a swig and handed it back to her. And the look she gave me, we locked eyes like we'd just fallen in love. She handed the water right back to me, and without thinking, I took another sip. It wasn't water anymore. I held the Poland spring at a distance, and a pale, yellow-green liquid sloshed inside, like Sun had just pissed in a different bottle and pulled the switcheroo. With a jackhammering heart, I put it to my lips again. And make no mistake, I swear it tasted just like a light Pinot Grigio, water to wine. I've been doing that for weeks now, she whispered. Only my sister knows. I fall way short of the glory a lot more often than I like. Arguments with Sun these days, for example, different discipline issues, self-control. So before Sun's unbelievable demonstration, for the 5 minutes I thought myself unique in all the world at pulling off, yes, Christ-like wonders, no savior complex stuff ever entered my mind. We're all spirit beings having a human experience. I used to say that in seminars. Well, my time here so far has without a doubt been at least as much human as spiritual. I take one day at a time. Walking on water will test anybody's hubris, but I'm nobody's messiah, which is mainly why I accepted help in figuring all this out. Not to get all what would Jesus do, but there was definitely a lot of soul searching when it came time to decide who to tell about what was going on and whether we should tell anybody at all. This U.S. Department of Peace was already in planning stages 5 years ago, and I promised to take a big part in it way back when the spiritualist communities first lobbied for it so hard. I never imagined it serving another agenda for the 10 people in the whole government who know the truth about Sun, Punch, Basma, and I, and what we can do. But then there are no coincidences. One of those 10 is President Chen, who personally appointed us all to top-level spots to make the Department of Peace as friendly for the average person as possible. No real politician would have the sexy to get booked on Oprah's network for the kind of interview we had this month. Rolling Stone and Essence just sat down with Sun for cover stories full of Department of Peace propaganda. I suppose Basma makes us international. Time will tell exactly how Punch serves him. But they're dead serious about keeping an eye on anybody with these kind of abilities. And anyway, Punch's heart is in the right place. This is day one of sitting behind this big desk in this huge room in this newly erected headquarters as this figurehead Secretary of Peace. It's already weird. Sun says she'll never set foot into her office yet. It helps me to know that there are no mistakes in life and that I'm always exactly where I'm meant to be, weird or not. Just the other day, Punch mentioned X-Men and how what the Department of Peace really needs is our own Cerebro, a detector to track down people performing miracles like we're superpowered mutants or something. Which is even funnier when you stop to think, to wonder what villains Punch is supposed to defeat by feeding the multitude. Anyway, for decades I've been preaching, for want of a better word, that humanity is at a tipping point, spiritually, as more people self-actualize and come to a different understanding of what exactly spirit is. Yes, my name is literally Christian. But I never expected what's going on would lead to a second coming, or in the case of Sun, Basla, and Punch, a third, fourth, and fifth. Not to protest too much, but I am nobody's Messiah, and neither of the rest of us. But what are we?
That don't make no sense at all.
Even better.
In the best way possible.